fellas. I don't know what to say, but I am enjoying every moment of this. I am savoring it as much as I possibly can. This is a strong possibility that we might actually bring the ship home. We might be bringing the ship. I mean, honestly, um, he's been elevated. He's been elevated from tier 1A to tier 1 because he has led him to the promised land. Now, if he's going to bring him the ship, he has become, I don't know what's beyond tier 1, like tier A1. Like A1 steak sauce. Anyways, to that point, I mean, I was genuinely shocked and surprised. That's why I didn't do anything about Game Three because after Game Three, because I didn't want to jinx it. Because I thought for sure, I was like, not sure, thought for sure, but I was pretty sure that the Knicks were going to win at five. I didn't think they were going to sweep like that. But when they won Game Three, I'm like, all right, I'm not going to do anything. I'm just gonna like wear the jersey. I'm gonna relax, just enjoy the game. If they sweep, perfect. If they don't sweep, all right, they win back at home, and then it'll be crazy at that point. But reality is, it's like 27 years, and we're going back to the ship again. We've been waiting 27 years. Now, I'll admit this: I've yet to experience a Knicks championship because I wasn't even born yet when they won their last. I'm waiting for it. I need it. I want to see it. I want to experience it. Granted, I'm not going to be in New York itself, but if they do win, I'm going to the parade. I'm going to that parade. But reality is like this is I didn't know how to react when they won yesterday. I did not know how to react because I'll be honest. In '99, when they won, when they did the improbable, a number 8 seed going to the championship. I mean, I was like shocked and surprised. I was like, I didn't know what to do at that point. I got nothing. I don't know what to do. I mean, once we knew that we were going against the Spurs, the dominant twin towers of like David Robinson and Tim Duncan, I was like, all right, chances are we might not win. I mean, it would be a remote possibility we could win, but we knew full well that they were never going to win that championship against that dominant team. But reality is this is a team where, I mean, 11 in a row, and they've pretty much cleaned house. The way they were winning with the number of by how much they're winning by is even more surprising, honestly. I mean, I'll be honest, with Philadelphia, the way they were like killing them, that was a shock. The way they did it at Cleveland, that was a shock as well too. I didn't think, no, let's be honest, Donovan Mitchell, he showed up, he did his part basically, he did everything he could. But Harden, psh, if I'm Cleveland, I do not renew that contract because like looking at the way he did, basically, he's like, this is not going to work for them. If anything, I would have used that to try to bring in what's his face, Giannis. At this point, reality is like it's the most likely probability that what's going to happen is LeBron's probably going to come back for his final finale and close it off in Cleveland. Hopefully he can bring, he's hoping that he could bring him another championship. But the only way that happens is that they have Donovan, LeBron, and Giannis at that point as well. Honestly, more so to the point, like I don't think that's happening. If the Knicks win this championship, depending on who they go against, if they go against the Spurs, it's a possibility we might be. There's a strong possibility that we can beat the Spurs because we could cancel them out. Basically, we could cancel out the Freak, but not the Freak, but yes, the Freak, Wemby, but with everyone else, Castle and Fox, I think we could contain them at that point as well. So like we did that in the Finals Cup, I think we could do it again with Oakland. If J Dubs doesn't come, I think we could hold them off at that point as well too. Quite honestly, because if J Dub doesn't come back, I think we can like contain SGA at that point. But the reality is like SGA is too good, and I don't know. I'm hoping the Knicks can, depending on who they play, they can contain them both and they basically win it. But it's a matter of like everything going according to plan. Because quite honestly, after Game Three, when Hart actually went off in points and like he, pretty much Cleveland dared Josh Hart to beat them. He did. He stepped up and he beat them. Mikal Bridges, I'll be honest, I'm genuinely surprised and shocked the way he's playing in the playoffs. He's elevated himself in the playoffs. Now, can he do this beyond? Because quite honestly, I don't know if this is a case where like after all the critics were coming down on him and the fact that like, the Knicks surrendered 5 first-round draft picks for him. Even I myself, I think he's stepping up and trying to show him like, hey, I was worth those 5 draft picks. But reality is, let's be honest, maybe one at first, nothing more, nothing less. But I'm savoring this. I'm hoping whoever they go against, the Knicks are well rested. Now, granted, when they come off this spot, rest. Hopefully they're not as rusty as we saw them when the Cleveland Cavaliers in Game 1, where they were down by 22 points If they're down 22 points against the Spurs or OKC, they're not coming back from that. Let's be honest, they're not going to come back. I mean, the rest of everyone else they were able to because they got complacent. These two teams will not be complacent. They will contain the Knicks. So if the Knicks lose game one, it's because of rustiness at that point. Hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully they go forward and they win. But only time will tell. Let's see what happens. But I'm happy that this happened. Now, looking on to next season, do I see the Knicks upgrading? Possibly. It's possible. Honestly, I as much as I like Deuce McBride, maybe you trade him. Maybe you trade him. If you can get a draft pick out of it, great. Use him, and if I can trade Cat and him for Giannis, let's get it. Let's get it done, basically. Because honestly, that would help us out. In the having Giannis there, that solidifies a back to back at that point as well too. If somehow the Knicks can get Dante, reunite the Fab Four, Villanova. Well, I know it's not the Fab Four, but the Villanova Four, the Cats, Villanova Wildcats four. I mean, Nova team. But reality is I don't think that's gonna happen. But of course, I'm getting ahead of myself, assuming that the Knicks win. But reality is like I gotta look for that because those 5 draft picks that we lost, it's not gonna help us out in the next 5 years. We need something, or next 7 years. We need something at this point. So we need the Knicks to step up, win this championship, and then they gotta figure out ways. Leon Rose has got to figure out ways to be creative to improve the team for next season to do back to back. I want a three-peat. I want a four-peat. Put it that way. I want a four-peat. No team has ever done a four-peat actually the Celtics have, but if the Knicks can four-peat, that'd be great. But reality is we'll have to wait and see basically at that point. But if the Knicks win the championship, there was a question: will Brunson be considered the greatest Knick of all time? I don't know. He's at that point, but he's definitely in the top 2 to 3. Quite honestly. Yes, he'll be elevated above Patrick Ewing at that point because Ewing could not deliver. Yeah, Ewing had to go against Jordan. Ewing had to go against Olajuwon. But the reality is he had enough stars. He had enough players to work around to get past him, and he didn't. He couldn't deliver at that point. At least Willis Reed and Frazier, they actually they delivered twice. Let's be honest, they delivered twice. They have 2 championships. They delivered twice. They had to go against a really impressive Boston team, Celtics team. They had to really go against a really impressive Lakers team. So, yes, Brunson went over the Celtics. He got past the Sixers. He got past. They win against either the Thunder or the Spurs, that's mad impressive at that point as well too. But the only thing is Brunson has to get past Halliburton because Halliburton has been a thorn in his side. That's why next year, if he can get past Halliburton and they go advance beyond Halliburton, I think then he becomes the greatest at that point. Because if he does do that and gets past Halliburton, then he becomes the greatest of all time. Now, if they win the championship, as I said, basically, if they win the championship, Brunson has become a tier A1, not a tier 1A, tier A1. That's I don't know what's beyond tier 1, honestly. That's why I got to go like that. He's become stardom at that point. And Cat, he becomes a tier 1A at that point, or tier 1A at that point. Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges, tier 2s at that point. But only time with an OG Anunoby, that's the man. He's like an Oakley, basically. He's like a Rodman. We need him at that point. Him, Brunson, Hart is like the heart of the team. I would say not the heart, but the nitty gritty type of person. Mikal Bridges, if he can do this and consistently do this each time for each game, then the Knicks will have, can be a very dominant team next season at that point as well too. But again, it comes down to what happens in the championship, whoever they go against. Can Mikal Bridges duplicate or replicate what he's done here against the Cavs as well as the Sixers? Now, granted, towards the tail end of Game 4, Mikal Bridges was getting really sloppy. Yeah, his defense was kicking up a little bit here and there, but his offensive skills were getting us very sloppy. He was giving off turnovers at that point as well too. So he's got to step up and minimize those turnovers at that point. Brunson, he's leading the team. He's leading the pack. He is the one. So if the Knicks go against the Spurs, the Knicks probably should win in 6, maybe 7, most likely 7. If the Knicks go against the Thunder, it'll definitely go to 7 games for sure. It'll definitely go to 7 games. The question is if J-Dubs is there, that's what it really comes down to. If J-Dubs is there, 7 games for sure. If J-Dubs is not there, maybe the Knicks could win it in 5, maybe 6, most likely 6, maybe in 5. but most likely 6. If they play the way they keep playing at this point. Now the question is, they can't be complacent. If they're not complacent, I think we should be good at that point. Dante, I hate to say sorry. I loved you, man, but like it would have been great if you were here as the fourth man, but it is what it is. Cat, you'll be getting it, and then hopefully, if we get the championship, trade you off and get Giannis, so we can get back to back to back at that point. I'm sorry, I got to be like that because, got to be ruthless. This is a business. We need those three peats. But with that, I'll leave it at that. But again, all I gotta say is this, basically, man. This is. Oh yeah. And that's it. With that, I'll leave it at that. Unfiltered, unedited, and of course, always unrehearsed. Until next time.